Hi guys, welcome to the live. This is a live Q&A. I hope everyone who's joining me is aware of what's going on. It's a live Q&A session sponsored by Mosaic Health Limited. So let's keep liking the live. If you can, please share the live to other girlies, other friends. I don't know, just share the live. Let someone come and learn 1 or 2, 3 things from this live. Hi, lovely nurse. So, I don't know, where do I start? We're not yet starting. We'll start in the next 13 minutes. We're just, let's get to say hello, get accustomed to whatever is going on. Otherwise, hi God's very own. Yes, so please share the live. Let's wait for people to join. And today we're gonna talk about 3 things. We're gonna talk about, hi Tasha, we're gonna talk about yeast infections, we're gonna talk about UTIs, that is urinary tract infections, and then we're also gonna talk about period cramps. So I hope this is something that's exciting to you. It's not just restricted to the ladies, gents can be here to learn as well, so it's better, the more the merrier. So if you can, please share this live to 3 people, let someone come and learn on here. If you're from Instagram and you haven't seen me before and you've just come to this live for the first time, you're so welcome. You can say hello. And I am Claudia. That's my real name. It's not a stage name. And yes, I am a nurse. To be precise, I recently graduated from a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing, so I'm a BSN nurse awaiting internship. And yes, I do have the knowledge to spread, so let's spread it. Again, this is proudly sponsored by Mosaic Health Limited, and we're so excited to have a brand that is allowing us not just use their products but also learn as we use their products. So if you haven't followed Mosaic Health Limited, please check them out, see what they do. They have this period pouches, and it's gorgeous because what they have in here, I'm gonna tell you all about it later on, but yes, this is it. This is nice. So let's get to where am I currently? Thank you for the nice messages, guys. Let's get ready for the live. Let's get ready for the conversation. Please start sending your questions as soon as now. And it's just Nyawera. Hey, I have a question. Is taking Brufen every month due to cramps healthy? Well, you have your period once a month, so it's probably gonna last between 1 to 7 days. You're gonna take your painkillers between 1 to 3 days. Some pain you can't just smile it off, so you do need painkillers. They are healthy if not overused. If you just take them with lots of water as well, it's perfectly okay. I love the questions you guys are already asking. I love it. Let's keep asking them. We're gonna need them for later. I'm gonna answer all your questions. Don't worry. We intend to take about an hour, so that's not long enough. Your attention span is good enough, right? We can last an hour here. So let me see. It's just Nyawera. Could cramps be a sign of endometriosis? Yes. Or is it just normal pain? Pain ain't normal, first of all. So yeah, it could be a sign, but it could be just your body, doing what it does. But now let's just say on an override. Because some people do experience period pain, some don't. Some girls experience period pain, some girls do not experience. Is it normal? Pain is not normal. So let's just say you tackle it as time goes by. If it gets too much, you actually do need to seek medical attention. to determine, is it just period pain or something else? Chances are it's not something else, but yeah, it's good to get checked if you can. So our topic is yeast infections, UTIs, and yeast infections, UTIs, and period cramps. That's the topic. Those are the topics of the day. It's just Nyawera. If however you're managing the pain, let's say personally in a day I can take a whole pack of Brufen. A whole pack of Brufen has like 10. It has like 10 painkillers. So define a whole pack of Brufen, because I'm talking about the, I don't know how to call it. You know, the metal thing that holds the yeah, that's what I'm talking about. It has like 10. So do you take that 10 or like the box that has like 6? Okay. That is a lot. And is it harmful? Definitely. Very harmful. Because, okay, wait. In a day, you're supposed to take like 1 times 3, right? So those are 3 in a day. But 10? No, that's now not nice at all. No. Define a whole pack. Yes, whenever I feel pain, I take the one holding the tablets. 10 of them. Okay, that's too much. You're definitely overworking your kidneys. And is that a good thing to do? No. How about we're gonna find out other pain management mechanisms that we have. Topic of the day is period cramps, yeast infections, and UTI. So how we got to decide these 3 topics, maybe I just give you a background. We got to put up a poster to allow people choose topics that they want, and the ladies did do the choosing, and it went over a period of like 3 days where I told them this is what we're planning, there's a live, so what are the topics that you want. Then on the following day, we got to now poll like what these are the topics you ladies chose, which of them do you want, like from all the ones that you chose. And we came up with the three that had the highest were yeast infections, UTIs, and period cramps. So my assumption is this is something that is bothering us ladies, so let's talk about it. And that is how we got to these topics that we're tackling today. And additionally, I also gave the ladies a platform to ask questions on my stories, on my Instagram, as well as TikTok. So I will start by answering a few of the questions that I got on Instagram, and we're gonna answer together. You can as well keep asking your questions on here. So the first question I'm gonna tackle is on from my IG. So let's answer the first questions. What medicine for cramps can I advise or are there for people to use, and what are the future effects? So surprisingly, someone asked earlier about the same thing, like typically the same question, like what are the medications someone can take when they're having period cramps, and what are the effects? Some have effects? They do. So the first thing, definitely every girl knows about Brufen. Like if you don't know about Brufen, what are you taking? Okay, you might be taking Buscopan, but then Brufen is like, every girl has Brufen in their life somewhere. You have encountered Brufen somewhere. You just know Brufen. It's like the pink, it's usually pink. Yeah, it's usually pink. That's the easiest way I can describe it. And so Brufen, yes, any aspirin, any aspirins do work for period cramps as well. Did you know that paracetamols work the same way? I'm gonna be looking down here because I wrote some of these questions. And paracetamol is Panadol, like Panadol extra. It works. I was shocked, but it does work. So you can take some of the advice that I have and maybe try Panadol. However, Brufen is mostly encouraged by doctors, nurses, anyone in the medical field, because the effects are less, the long-term effects are mild, like mild to none. If used correctly, you're okay. But then when it comes to stuff like paracetamol, now Panadol, they do have long-term effects if taken wrongly. Definitely a lot of, renal repercussions like kidney failure and whatnot. Now there's this other drug that, okay, who's we, but we like, diclofenac. We have diclofenac. And diclofenac has a bit of controversies because it was recently found out that diclofenac does cause stroke and heart attacks. Like with your young age, like that, you have no heart problem, you have nothing, but just by virtue of using the medication long term or excessively, you can succumb to a stroke or even a heart attack. So doctors have now resorted to not prescribing diclofenac at all, and if they do, they don't give you the tablet, they give you the injection, right? Because with the injection, you won't get an injection in a chemist anyhow, so it's just an injection in the hospital at site, like hapo kwa site. That's the only place that you get diclofenac. Yes, it's still sold over the counter, but discipline, I guess you just need discipline because it has serious effects. I got to read about them and I was a bit shocked as well because I never, this. I think the first time I had a controversy about diclofenac was when I was in high school, and I met diclofenac in high school, and it was nice. I'd say nice because my pain went away in like 10 minutes, and I forgot like I had my period cramps. So that's how I met diclofenac. And is it nice? Yes, because the pain goes away. But then I noticed that there's like after effects of using diclofenac. Like maybe if I use 2 in 2 days, you get to experience stuff like how do I call them? Acidity, I guess. So a lot of acidity like issues in your tummy. There's a lot. So diclofenac, not so much. It does have some serious effects if misused or used a lot. So I'd say maybe in a month, you should use it at least twice if you must, or once if you must. And yeah, so the other one that had a problem is Panadol. Panadol, don't take Panadol too much, maybe once also. Then we have Brufen, safe, Buscopan, very safe. Aspirin, not too much, don't take it too much, just use it with the same precaution as Panadol. Yeah, so most suitable is Brufen and Buscopan. Yeah. So another question was, how about diclomol? I take it thrice a day. That's still diclofenac. Thrice a day is a bit too much. I feel like it shouldn't go beyond once. Okay, here's how I do it. With diclofenac, if you must, like the worst has come to the worst, take it once, then follow up with Brufen. Okay? Don't take it diclofenac every 8 hours, no. Take it once and then follow up with Brufen. That's, I think, the safest way to use it, because you're not going to have someone knock at your door and tell you diclofenac is wrong. No, it's not. It's not banned, but there has to be precaution using it. That's what I'm going to teach you today. Take precaution while using it because it has serious effects to your heart, can cause stroke and heart attacks. So let's go on to the next question that was asked. Recurrent yeast infections. So why do I have recurrent yeast infections? That was the other question that was asked. and I need you girls to tell us your experiences and maybe what worked best for you so that other ladies can learn. If I have to counter it, allow me to counter. If it's okay, I'm gonna give an okay to whatever worked for you or is working for you. So yeast infections, recurrent yeast infections, what are the reasons for the recurrent yeast infections? That was the other question that was asked. And I'm gonna tell you hormones are the biggest reason as to why you have recurrent yeast infections, because I understand most girls experience this right before their period, sometimes like during the period and after the period. That is when most girls experience yeast infections. So yes, it is typically hormonal. And can this be controlled? Yes, it can. And then another cause can be your immune system is just failing you, like your immunity is so low. And there could be a lot of reasons as to why your immunity is low. First of all, are you taking any steroid medication or autoimmune medication? If you are, then that's a problem. It's gonna suppress your immunity. Another thing might be, have you checked your status? Because HIV and AIDS can be a reason as to why your immunity is low. And with low immunity is equal to you're more susceptible to like infections and stuff like yeast infections, UTIs, and whatnot. So those are some of the reasons why yeast infections recur. Nothing to do with sexual activity. It is hormonal. Diet. The diet, if you are a fan of what do I call it? Bread. Yeah, let me not say at yeast or no, it's just bread, because yeast tends to overgrow. What causes yeast infection or flare up is like your yeast. You do have yeast. Every girl has yeast in their body, and what happens is, what becomes a problem is if the yeast becomes more than it is supposed to be, so meaning it has overgrown, right? So if it does overgrow, then now there's why you experience weird symptoms that you hate and don't like. And yeah, so typically overgrowth of yeast, and that can be caused by diet, sugar. Let me paint this picture correctly for you, simply. Like, let me not even talk about the science part of it. Let me put this way. To bake a cake or to bake bread, you need yeast, right? For yeast, you need a lot of sugar for the yeast to do what? To grow. Okay? You need sugar. What else do you need? You need warmth, meaning heat, like warmth. So you can find most ladies experience yeast infections when they travel to hot areas. And then you find someone experiences yeast infections when they are suddenly, do you know why it's usually mostly during your period or before your period or after your period? Because it is during that time of the period that most girls usually have serious craving for sugar. And when now you feed your craving, let's say you've got a whole bar of chocolate, you shut it down in like a day or two, your sugar levels become increasingly high, and that triggers yeast growth. So you need sugar for your yeast to grow. You need a warm environment for your yeast to grow. So sometimes your hormones can give this environment for the yeast, and it overgrows. Sometimes your diet gives environment for the yeast to overgrow, and it does. And sometimes your clothing give the yeast an environment to overgrow, and they do. So we are in that time where, most girls are usually in like pants, trousers, and whatnot. And that's why it's healthier for girls to be in dresses sometimes, because yeah, the aeration is good. And it's a problem because you can't keep telling people to wear dresses and they don't want to wear dresses. So warmth is a problem. So that is for yeast infections and why they keep recurring. What else did I cover? Good. Diabetes. Did you know that actually if your yeast does recur, you should go get tested for two things? One, diabetes. Because diabetes increases the level of sugar in your blood by like 0 to 100, and your body can't take it. So your body reacts right? And if it reacts by some of these ways by telling you there's something wrong, and it can give you a yeast infection to tell you something is wrong. So yes, you do need to go get tested for yeast infections, for diabetes, because it might be that your body is just producing a lot of sugar that it shouldn't, or should not. Yeah, it shouldn't. And the other thing is now getting tested for like HIV, and because I told you the immunosuppression, right? And we went through science, we know what happens with HIV and AIDS. There is immunosuppression, meaning your body is not gonna be able to fight basic things. I'm gonna call these infections basic because your body is built to deal with it, right? So yeah. So these are some of the reasons why your yeast infections can be recurring. Did I see another question regarding the same? Let me check. No, I didn't. So let's go on. Another question that was asked on my Instagram is, this is a very lovely question. Is it normal to not have period cramps? And I was like, girl, you dare ask? Yes, it's so normal. Like you're literally the only normal person on earth right now, because yes, it's normal. What is not normal is pain. That is what's not normal. Otherwise, I feel like most girls are usually complaining of period cramps. Everyone thinks it's the same everywhere, but no, nah. We have some God's favorites out here. They do not have period cramps. So the fact that she asked the question, is it normal to not have the period cramps, means we have overhyped period cramps, I guess, because now she thinks it's abnormal because everyone maybe in her circle has the period cramps. But yeah, it's very normal. You're literally the only normal person on earth right now for not having period cramps. So congratulations. Anyway, what do you guys think? Is it normal? It is normal. Another question I got is UTI causes. First of all, what is a UTI? It's a urinary tract infection. And this was a lady who asked. Don't ask me how I know. I saw the DP. And so, because it's a lady, let's answer now for the ladies. UTI, urinary tract infection. You know, like in science when we were taught like the biology part of, that's the UTI. Meaning it's an infection that's occurring where you're supposed to like pee, okay, in simple terms. And bacterial infection, to be precise, like could be also caused by other things cause infections. It could be fungal, it could be bacterial, it could be viral, it could be literally any of the above. So I'm gonna talk about bacterial because it's the most common. Yes, it could be a viral UTI, meaning you need to go get tested for a virus. Then it could be fungal, you see, so you need to treat it as a fungus, not bacteria. Like, yeah, we have different infections, and I think most people don't know that. You think the fact that you're having these symptoms, you assume it's bacterial, so I'm going to take an antibiotic first. Thank you for knowing bacterial is antibiotic, but then it could also be fungal, meaning you don't use an antibiotic for fungal. And if you do and magically it works, it will come back again. Okay? Let's say you're experiencing a UTI because yes, you walk, you know the symptoms, and then you treat it as a UTI, as you take antibiotics because that's all you know. Yet it's fungal. It might go, it might, but it will come back. And then let's say it's viral. It might be suppressed, but then it comes back. But then if it's bacterial and then you use antibiotics, then it will go and might not come back for a very long time, or maybe never. So what is a UTI? We have discussed that. It's infection in your pee area. Let's call it that way because I don't have another decent term to call it. So what the question was, the causes. What are the causes? First of all, where infection is dirt. So because a lady asked this, let's answer the lady. And in this case, we have different causes. First of all, the bacteria might be introduced through, you see, we are taught to wipe from front to back. Then you decide, because you're, I don't know what's wrong with you, you start from back to front. So you're introducing fecal dirt to your P area, right? So that definitely causes an infection. And in fact, a very angry one, because your P area has a certain level of pH, and then it wonders, so what is this? What is this, brother? Like, what's happening? Because you've introduced something that area doesn't recognize. The pH can be so crazy, so definitely an infection occurs. And it can cause disturbing symptoms, which we'll talk about later on. And also we have an STI, or a sexually transmitted infection. So yes, a UTI can be caused by sexual intercourse. And those are one of the most common causes. And can I tell you, your hormones might cause, no, your hormones will not cause a bacterial infection. Your hormones will definitely, it might allow, but for a UTI, your hormones don't do that to you. Your hormones will only play you when it comes to the yeast infections, but the UTI has nothing to do with your hormones. Okay, nothing major to do with your hormones. Let's just put it at that. And so there's also like diet might affect you. And I also want to talk about medication. Like if you are on if you're on antibiotics, hey, and then you kill the normal flora. Heard of normal flora? Yeah, your body will react by actually giving you an infection back, because why did you take our protective, what we use to protect ourselves? So your body might react with an infection back. So what this goes to tell you, are you taking any antibiotics? If you are, then that's a problem, because you have suddenly destroyed your normal flora. Also, sexual intercourse, you need to be careful about that as well. It can cause a UTI to both the male and the female, okay? The man and the woman. And then we also have, what was the other? Yeah, hygiene. Hygiene is what I was going to talk about when I said wiping from front to back, back to front. So it's supposed to be front to back, like malunona to malioni, okay? Front to back. So that's gonna maintain the hygiene and not introduce bacteria where it's not supposed to be at. And are these things that you can be walk about? Yes. Are these things you can avoid? Yes. So is a UTI your fault? No. Sometimes we're human, so an error might occur somewhere, but luckily we do have ways to manage it, and most definitely you do need antibiotics for a UTI. Why do you get people to tell you that yes, these are the symptoms? And what are the symptoms? It's a UTI, meaning everything to do with urine, peeing is affected. So you might experience, not might, you definitely will experience pain. So what might change is the level of pain. It can be all the way from a 4 to a 10 if you joke. So the pain while urinating suddenly, so your body is so weird, because at this time when I'm in pain is when I feel the urge to go to the toilet the most. Like, what's that? So that's what your body does. There's sudden urge to urinate all the time for no reason, and then you might actually go pee and there's no pee. So let's say the urge to urinate, and then the amount of urine is reduced. The can pain be a 0? It can't be a 0, because it will just mean there's no pain. Okay, scale of 0 to 100. I don't know why we say 0. We don't say 0. We say from a scale of 1 to 10, because 0 means no pain. Do we say 0 to 10 or 1 to 10? I don't know why I'd tell someone Anyway, so sorry. What was it? Yeah, antibiotics is the way to go. You do need to go to the hospital because of what I taught you earlier, because your infection can be due to a bacterial infection. It can be bacterial, it can be fungal, it can be, what was the third one? Bacterial, fungal, and viral. Thank you. So this goes to tell you, me, you, both, we can't tell what it is. So because we can't tell, we actually need to go get tested. Because what's going on? Because I told you, you might be treating a fungal infection with antibiotics. It might work because you have the grace, but then it will come back because you're treating A with B instead of treating B with B. You're treating A with B. You get it? So it's nice to go get tested. But anyway, I know you Kenyans, I know you just don't like to go to the hospital. So I might as well just tell you, go grab an antibiotic. If you just go to the chemist, there's no shame nowadays, like no shame. Go to the chemist, tell the person, I'm experiencing serious pain when urinating. They will know what it is. And then they will just go ahead and ask you for how long. And then they will ask you, have you been taking enough water? I'm telling you, I'm just prompting you what happens. And then you'll be like, yeah, but I don't know what happened. And then they'll be like, so I'm gonna give you this antibiotics. You take them for not less than 3 days, whatever days, but not less than 3 days. If you find a good chemist, they'll give you up to like 7 days. If you find a crazy expensive chemist who just wants to use your money, sometimes they'll give you up to 14 days, which is the safest, but still not necessary as such. And then it shouldn't be less than 3 days. For antibiotic, it should never be less than 3 days. If you go somewhere and they're telling you take this once, they're a scam. The only thing you take once is antifungal. Okay, so they'll give you whatever best, whatever best antibiotics they have. Just take the best. Sometimes what varies is just the amount of money you pay for the antibiotics. So a UTI isn't something that, I know it can be excruciating, honestly. But what I tell someone to manage this, don't just wait to go get an antibiotic. You do need like gallons of water. Like if you can chug 20 liters, no, you can't because you'll die because, fluid balance. Yeah. But then if take a lot of water to flush out the toxins. That's all. It really works. It really does work. So a lot of water will help. Cranberry, yes. But guess what? It's so expensive. It's expensive. But if you can get it, why not? Actually, cranberry is also as a, how do I call it? You can take cranberry juice or pills. We actually have cranberry supplements nowadays. You can take them as, do you know probiotics? Yeah, like before an infection happens, like you're just preventing. That's the meaning of a probiotic, literally. That's a fancy way of, calling a probiotic. Like you just take it before an infection actually happens. Okay. And we also have diets that you can take to prevent these things. For example, yogurt, probiotic yogurt. Okay, we have probiotic yogurt. We have kombucha. Is it kombucha or kombucha? I don't know. Kimchi. There's this fancy salads that people are making nowadays. Not to promote anyone, but I watch Sim Sima. I don't know if you do. She has all those recipes. Just go check them out. You can use all that to get, just probiotic, just preventing. Yeah. Thank you, Joe Gashira. Oh, it's nice we have a mail in the building. Nice. So that's it about UTIs. It's not, honestly, it's not the end of the world, but it can be in the end of the world in that moment because it can be really painful. So you do need a painkiller as well, right? Yeah, you do. So that's it about the UTI. Let's go to the next question because I want to answer as much questions as I can before this live ends. The next one is Yes. Do certain pads cause boils? First of all, I'm gonna tell you this. I will not mention any brand names of any pads, but yes, they can. So I was checking out, there was a little bit of a conversation. I saw it online, so it's not like I'm the one who said it. But there's some brands that were being mentioned that, like, when ladies use their brands or the brand of pads, pads, you know what pads are, yeah. They do experience, they get boils. That's really sad for real. But yeah. So here's what I'm gonna tell you. Be sure, or rush, thank you. Be sure to use cotton pads. I'm gonna name the brand because I love it. It's been so kind to me. Cortex is perfect. Honestly, it's good. And it's cotton, it's light. You, if you want the light option, you can take it. It's light, it's good. So another thing is you're using synthetic. It's a problem. If you can, please get cotton. If you can, please get cotton. And be sure to change your pads regularly, like not less than 3 times a day. Whatever your flow is, little, mid, excess, I don't know, not less than 3 times a day. This is because you do need aeration, madam, like you do. So, and the hygiene has to be like superb. So just change your pads often. Okay, I see a question there, Joe. I'm gonna talk about it. And that's it about pad. No, that's not it. I also read, I found like there was a conversation about some brand of pad that has not so good toxin that is released like when you use the pad. So I want to send you homework. Yeah, homework. Yes. I want to send you online to just go research on certain brands. Do they have any fights that they're fighting with, doctors or any medical boards regarding the regarding the products? Please check them out. But Cortex is the way to go. It's good. It's perfect, honestly. Never experienced anything with Cortex, so I'd tell you to go my way. And so it's true, they can cause. So how do we prevent it? Use cotton pads. I change your pads frequently. Clean that area frequently as well if you can. And that's it, I guess. So comment on tampons as well. I'm not sure what you want me to comment on tampons, but this is gonna be this is not gonna favor most people, but I find them really unhygienic. I can't tell someone to use them because, first of all, I can't get it in me to understand why I want the absorption to happen in there instead of out here. So for me, I've never been for or pro tampons. Never. I'm never pro tampons. I understand that is a very serious comment to make because most girls are going that way nowadays. I do not know why, but I don't agree with it. I find it unhygienic and I find it risky. So I'm not the best person to give you advice on tampons because I am biased on that one. I'm biased. I hate them. I can't tell anyone to use them. So I'm biased on that. So I'm not going to ask you to, I'm not going to comment further because that's going to be a very biased side point of view, actually. So what about the same applies? Do you know these things, God created our bodies to have unique functions. Like he gives you a uterus and then plans for it to shed monthly. and then creates a way for it to be shed, right? Then someone sits and decides, how about we trap the shedding before it comes out? Why? Not right with me. Because this is what I understand. Maybe they do have the mechanisms to help what I'm thinking about, because I'm thinking you as the shedding happens, clots do happen, right? So I understand that yes, a pad can, hold the clot, absorb it and whatnot. But what are the odds? What are the odds this residue is being left behind when it's not supposed to be left behind? Good times nation, thank you. What are the odds? So that is why I'm so biased about menstrual cups, about tampons. I feel like whatever is supposed to come out, let it shine, let it do its thing, not trap it before it comes, right? I don't know. That's me. I'm not for them. I'm not for them. Is it a cultural view? No, mine is typically hygienic view. Hygienic view. And because I understand how the body is supposed to work, and I'm not about to help the body do its job, because I don't know what really goes on in there for me to assist the body. So I do not want to, tampons, it's not the culture, it's not. Oh, okay. I'd say for me, it's typically hygiene point of view, and also the science point of view for me. But then, why I'd tell you most people aren't taking it in could be cultural, or what we've been made to imagine or learn or know. It could be cultural for most people. If someone, I don't know, it could be cultural for most people, because that's something like controversial. That's not what we are taught. That's not normal. So it could be that is why most like people aren't taking it as it was intended to. Because I'd find if it was really, I don't know, compared to a pad, like if it was one on one like this, every girl would have it, right? But not every girl has it. There has to be a reason why. My reason is the hygiene point of view. So I don't know about other people. Maybe ladies, you can tell us. Hi Moon. Tampons or pads? Yeah, let's hear. Tampons or pads? Ladies in the building. Tampons or pads? Tampons or pads? Let's hear what the majority says on this live, so that we determine, is it cultural? Is it other reasons? Is it science? Is it tampons? Okay, Joe Gashira. Okay, I hear you. Anybody else? What do you? Pads, please. Thank you, Brenda. I'm biased on this one, honestly. Tampons never. I'm biased. I agree. Kylie, pads any day. Bridget, pads any day. Archie, pads any day. Oh, thank you. You see. Bridget, God's very own pads, let the internal process take place uninterrupted. Ajori, Stephanie, pads anytime. Pads insertion of tampons still scares me, plus bacteria, girl. I get it. Exactly. Thank you. So, Joe, honestly, I'm sorry, but it looks like everyone here is. Do you know? Let me just crack this joke because I can. But like, okay, guys, tulitoa washamba some other year. I don't know if that person who called us washamba remembered, but I do remember that time where girls like were made fun of. Like, if you're still using pads, mini mshamba, proudly take me as a mshamba. Ay. So yeah, I don't know, girls. Do you remember that time we were called mshamba because of choosing to use pads instead of like tampons and all that? Kienyeji, that's me. I'm kienyeji, like kienyo. I am. It's cool. Like, leave me, because I'm not about to do that. Like, the hygiene aspect just scares me, because how many UTIs or yeast infections or even BV will I treat? No way, no way. No way. Yeah, Kenyo, like, hey, let's not go there. But I think you've seen most girls still prefer the pads. Another question that I was asked is, sorry, recurrent UTI and yeast infections management. I think I touched a bit on that. Recurrent means inashinda ikienda ikirudi, inaenda inakaa. Okay, so recurrent, let's tackle yeast infection. First of all, I told you some of the reasons why it is recurrent, right? So now that we know the causes, maybe you can use the cause to find the solution. Yes. For example, your hormones. Yes, thank you. Recurrent UTI and yeast infection management. No way. I just knew someone will come with this comment. Like, Ajuri, it had to be you. It's okay. You're allowed. But I do not know why people associate yeast infection with sexually transmitted infection. No, in no way. In fact, the saddest part is it's in no way transmitted from a man to a woman or woman to woman. No way. But the UTI, yes, there's that way. You can transfer bacteria from back and forth. You can. But yeast infection, sorry, no. It's not about the man. But what you can do is definitely change your diet. I don't know if let me just talk about, okay, should I talk about it? Yeah, I should talk about it. I remember one time I was the one who made it. I made, what are they called, mom? That chapati for yeast. Naan. Hey, yo. So I think diet teaches you that diet can really affect your body in serious ways. So I tried naan for the very first time in my life. Like, I'd never eaten naan before. And the next day, guys, the symptoms were already kicking in hard. I was like, what's going on? Like, what's this? So that goes to show you how much diet can really play you. Like, your body can really react to whatever you're taking in. So that just goes to tell you, change your diet. If you see your yeast infections are recurrent, what are you eating? You like sugar and you're complaining you have yeast infection. Okay, how do we help you? We can't. Like, you just have to change the sugar intake. I'm not saying cut, like, I'm not saying remove. You can start by reducing. Yeah. You can find like certain solutions to consuming sugar. Like, if you want sugar in your tea, you can just take like honey or something. Just find alternatives to your sugar intake. Amejasema watu wasikule naan, but for me it literally reacted that way immediately after. But I also, because it's the first time I made it, I think I used too much yeast. I think I used too much yeast. Yeah, I don't know, but that goes to tell you diet plays a big role. A lot of bread and cakes and all that, it can affect you. It most definitely will affect you long term. So change your diet. Also, hormonal control, you can, if it's that serious, you can actually go get checked and let them test you, because I told you, you might think you're treating a yeast infection, madam. It's not. Maybe it's not even a yeast infection, right? So this just goes to tell you, go get tested. If you find something is going on once, twice, thrice, the third time, go to the hospital. So that's it. Go get tested for those yeast infections and the UTIs. For the UTIs, hygiene. Oh my god, hygiene. Yes, kuleni broccoli and fruits, please. Like, please. Even the Israelites were all constantly eating bread without yeast, so there has to be a reason. There has to be a catch. There has to be a catch. Just saying. But then get tested. If something happens more than twice in the same month, in fact, that twice is too much in a year. Okay, maybe if it happens too much, just go get tested, because you might think you're treating something normal, but maybe it is beyond normal or abnormal. Okay, so you just need to go get tested. Let's find out what the problem really is. And yeah, ilikuwa inaitwa unleavened bread, ile ya last supper. Exactly. So UTI has nothing to do. UTI might have something to do with sexual intercourse, but yeast infection doesn't. So you can change your man there for the UTI. Anyway,